welcome back to my channel. In this video, I thought I'll talk about how it was being an only child living with a disability. So those that know me well know that I'm an only child. So I thought I'll talk about how it was growing up as an only child with a disability. My parents just wanted to have one kid, either a girl or a boy. So it wasn't because my disability that they didn't have no more kids. It was more because that was their plan from the start, just to have one kid. But they never crossed their mind that I was gonna have a disability. I feel like nobody thinks about that when are about to have a son or a daughter. You know what I mean? They don't think about, oh, they might have be born with a disability. That doesn't cross your mind. My parents' plan from the start was to just have one child, either a son or a daughter. Yeah, so my disability didn't have nothing to do with their decision. I mentioned this about my disability because when you have, a son with muscular dystrophy, and for example, if my mom would have had another son, there were high chance that the other son, meaning my brother, if I would have had one, would have muscular dystrophy. But in the other hand, if my mom would have had a daughter, meaning a sister that I would have had, she probably wouldn't have muscular dystrophy. But when she had if she had a son, her son would have muscular dystrophy, since she's my sister. If I had one in this case. So that's why I mentioned that it wasn't my disability that made them not have another child. You know what I mean? I just thought I'll mention this, for people that don't know a lot about muscular dystrophy. When I was diagnosed, the doctors told my mom if she wanted to do this procedure, which would tell her if she had another son, would he have muscular dystrophy. But like I was saying, my parents' plan from the start was only to have one child. And plus, like, the procedure cost like $1,000, I think, to do. But since, like I was saying, my parents were only wanting to have one son, in this case me, so we didn't really have to do that, since they were just gonna have one child. And they also gave us a book, like if they decided to have, another son, daughter. It was like a book like that they give families with muscular dystrophy if that person has, you know, younger siblings that won't understand what's going on with their brother. So yeah, they still give. I read it like a few years ago. Like it was just like it was a book about two brothers, one that had disability, the other one didn't. But the younger brother, like in the book, he's asking questions to his parents, like about his brother's disability and whatnot. They made that book for individuals that have younger brothers or sister, so they can understand how their family member, their brother disability would affect him. You know what I mean? Because when you're a child, you ask questions because you're curious to know. You know. Another reason they created the book, I think, was because their siblings, that are embarrassed to have a brother or a sister with a disability. Uh, I know someone that dealt with that. It was a teammate of mine in my wheelchair soccer team. His name was Jaime. He had, like, I think, two older sisters, and his dad was telling us a story about how his older sister were like embarrassed, for their friends to know that they had a brother with a disability. He had muscular dystrophy, the same one as I do. So his dad was telling us that story, like when Jaime was younger, his older sister were like kind of embarrassed to say, "Oh, I have a brother with this disability," until Jaime's dad had a talk with them. It like telling them, it's not his fault that he was born with a disability, so you don't need to treat him like that, like be embarrassed that you have a brother with a disability. So that's what it had got me thinking, like for years now, like what if my mom had like another child, like a sister or a brother, that when they got at a certain age, they would just be embarrassed to, to be seen with me. In his case, they were embarrassed to be seen as well. So that's why I have talked to my mom, like, what if that was the case. Like my teammate, good friend Jaime, that his sisters were kind of embarrassed to be seen with him or tell like friends that they have a brother with a disability. So that's why I told mom maybe it was best that it was just me. It's not because I'm being selfish, because you guys would have to deal with that, having a brother or sister that was embarrassed to be seen around me or just embarrassed, to tell their friends that they had a brother with a disability. But then my mom brings another case that we have. My good friend that he has a twin sister, you know, they're very close. She is very close with her brother. They're both close. That's why my mom was like, maybe in your case, be like Victor and Felicia, that they're so close, that she doesn't, is not embarrassed to have a brother with a disability. They're very close. That's why my mom's like, maybe you would have had like a brother or a sister like that, like them that are very close. The disability hasn't affect their relationship. They are very close. So that's why my mom's always like, maybe we don't know how your relationship with your brother or sister, if you would have had one, maybe it would have been the same case as Jaime's, you know, having a brother or sister that's embarrassed to be seen with a brother with a disability. Or it could be the other case where my friend Victor and Felicia, they're very close. I don't know because I never had a brother or sister, so I will never know like what how it would have been. You know what I mean? Even though I was an only child, I basically didn't grow up by myself. I have a cousin that is 6 months older than me, so he was like a brother, always been like an older brother to me. We grew up together basically, so we always been close. Even though I didn't have a brother growing up, he was almost like a brother. I feel like he's a brother that I never had, you know? As kids, I mean, when we were little, like 4 or 5, we did get in a few fights. But it was more like brother and sister, brother and brother. You know how you have fights with your siblings. So it was mostly like that around that age. But as we got older, 7 or 8, we bonded more. We became more closer. We did sleepovers during that time when we were kids. But like my mom told me one day that one day Omar and me we'll still be close, but not that close like when we were kids. Because, we were gonna get to middle school, things change. Like my mom would tell me, like, it's not that he don't want to hang out with you or don't want to talk to you anymore. It's that he needs to do things, that people his age or my age do. Like my mom would tell me like he's gonna start dating soon, or hanging out with his friends. So he won't have time to see you, like you guys are close. But like my mom would always, it's not that he doesn't want to talk to you, you know. He has to do his own thing, you know. Yeah, especially high school, you know, especially right now. He's doing his own thing. I'm doing my thing with you two, you know. But I'll make a video talking about how that part of my life was, you know, getting used to that idea. So basically, he was a brother. I mean, I'm very close to him still, but like I was saying, he's doing his own thing, you know. I mean, we still talk and all, but you know, he has to do his own things, you know, what people in who are in their 20s do, you know, hang out with friends and do all that stuff. So yeah, we both took a different path, you know, because I have a disability, he don't. So, but I still appreciate him. Literally, I still appreciate him. I wish nothing but the best for him. Not just him, also his siblings. They are like my sister and younger brother as well. Like the three of them, I consider them, you know, my brothers and my sister. So I consider them that close, you know. I wish nothing but the best for them. For my cousin Omar, I wish like he does, you know, the right thing, you know, doesn't get in trouble and all that stuff that I want for him, you know. Have a good life and like don't get into trouble, you know. Once he has his own family, you know, be a good, you know, parent, husband, whatever, you know, to whoever, whenever he does, you know, makes his own family, you know. Then for my other cousin, his sister, I mean, I wish like all the success that she's doing right now. She's going to school. So I wish nothing but, you know, her to have success in her career. She wants to be a teacher. You know, she has 2 more semesters left. So she's almost there. Then her other goal is to have her own house. So I hope she, you know, hope that she does achieve that goal, you know. And from my little cousin, you know, just make it through middle school right now, you know. Things are just crazy right now, you know. There are a lot of bad influence, you know, nowadays. There always been there when I was his age, but I feel like it's more now. So just watch it, you know. Be careful out there, you know. He's still growing, you know. He just started middle school this year, so yeah. So that's why I'm like, even though I grew up by myself, like no brothers or sisters, you know, but my cousins, you know, are like my brothers and sister, you know. And also like even though like in that time, like my mom, like I was telling you that my mom said like once me and Omar hit middle school, that things would been a little different for both of us. You know, he'll be doing his own thing, but during that period, I crossed path with a good friend of mine that I met in middle school. You know, we've been friends ever since. My good friend Victor, we always been during that time about middle school. I crossed path with him. So over time, he became like another brother in my life. Like it's crazy. Omar and Victor are like 6 months older than me. So Victor became another brother, has been very helpful in my mental health journey and starting YouTube. So he became like another brother in my life, you know. So yeah, hope nothing but the best for him as well. Like he has his own blog. He has 3 YouTube channels. He's thinking about making a book about his life. So I hope all those projects are very successful. So yeah, even though I was an only child, I had people in my life that were like brothers, you know. When I was a kid, Omar was my brother, you know, still is. Then I crossed back paths with my good friend Victor. that we've been friends ever since middle school. We went to high school together. Like his twin sister as well. They both of them became like brother and sister to me. It remind me of my cousins, you know, Omar and his sister. That they we would all hang out, even though Omar would mess with her. So I feel like with Victor and his twin sister, I saw similarities. Like it was like my watching my cousins, they became good friends of mine. So that's what I'm saying. Anything they do in life, I want them to be successful. Just like I was saying with my cousin Omar and his sibling, they too became like family, as well. Not just my cousin, but I'll talk a little bit more about that in my next video because I'm brainstorming videos right now. That's why I haven't really posted a lot about things, on my YouTube channel because I've been brainstorming some ideas. So this is an idea I just had today. So I hope you guys like this video, you know. For though I thought I'd make this video for people that, have a son with a disability and are planning to have other kids, how to deal with the situation, how not to let their siblings, be like embarrassed to, be seen around them or tell their friends about, oh, I have a brother with a disability or a sister with a disability, you know. Maybe you will find people that become brother and sister to you, you know. Maybe a family member, you see them as an older brother, older sister, or a sister, like in my case, that my cousins are like my brother and sister growing up. And then as I got older, my good friend Victor and his twin sister became, good friends of mine, and I see them like if they were brother and sister to me, even though we're not related, So like that, maybe you cross path with people that you see them as brother and sister, not just friends. They turn into family. You know what I mean? So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Until next time.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride.